If you've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, then you're familiar with Nazi Germans running all over the world looking for artifacts and relics from which they could summon a spiritual power. And we have the records. There's no doubt that they did that. And there was one organization that began at the beginning of the 20th century that the Germans were fascinated with. It was the Vril Society, a kind of a mystical organization that claimed that it could channel the beginnings of the Aryan race, not from someplace here on Earth, but from extraterrestrials.
The German Vril Society is a society interested in what the Vril is. Vril is a notion of a superpower going beyond atomic power, something that has the ability to do all kinds of fantastic things, including those attributed to UFOs. At the end of World War I, where Germany was in abject defeat, it was of interest to German militarists as a possible source of power. The mediums in the Vril Society were saying that this force could be used to power craft.
There were mediums that were doing exactly what?
Okay, generally speaking, mediumship is thought of in terms of communication with the dead. There's another group of mediums who channel material that is related to extraterrestrial or ultra-terrestrial beings, and it claims that it comes from the science of these beings, and that if we adapt that science, we will learn a great deal about higher technology than we have. Of course, the Nazis, being interested in power, quickly bought into that, and the more desperate the war became, the more they wanted to do aircraft in tune with these mediums who were transmitting this material. They seemed to grasp the shape of these things, which was saucer-shaped or cigar-shaped, just as UFOs that are seen today, but they could never get the idea of the power that was involved in these things, because apparently, even though they used the name Vril Society, they never understood what the Vril actually is.
The Vril is a kind of a life force, the Force, even from Star Wars, the force that makes things work.
Could what the Vril Society gained be the reason for this 25-year leap that the Germans had in technology over everybody else?
Could it be? I think that it almost certainly is a major part of that.
Alan Greenfield is telling us some pretty strange stuff. Germans channeling extraterrestrial knowledge from the planet Aldebaran. But what's interesting about that is that it does match up with what Hermann Oberth said. We were helped by people from other worlds. And we also know that the Nazis were absolutely obsessed with advancing their science by any means possible.